So we have arrived at tonight's destination for our next paranormal investigation, and this is the EMERY estate. It's just outside of Boston, and this apparently looks exactly the same as George Washington's house. So it was modelled on George Washington's house here. If I do a quick scope around for you, you'll see the area around the house. There's a wind that has come up. It's been so warm today. We've travelled to Rhode Island to our accommodation for the next few days, and we've come back towards Boston flag to do an investigation here at the EMERY estate. So I'm going to come back around the side here so you can have a look what it looks like. We know very little about this house other than there have always been good vibes here. Nothing nefarious, nothing sort of terrible that's happened. They talk about the fact that the house has always had a loving family and good relationships. A beautiful sunset coming, just dipping under the mountain now. And this sits in a park, so it has a thoroughfare of roadways for people to come in and to walk their dogs. As you can see in the background over there, there are some people walking their dogs. And it's called the King Oak Park, so I'm sure there must be a king oak here somewhere, and I will be asking where it is, if there is one. This is the back. We arrived here and we thought that this was the front, but no, this is actually the back of the building. And we're going to head on in a minute. Look at the little hearts on the louvers.
It's an incredible place, really.
It is. I love these lights that they have in the windows. They are so cool. I think very much to do with the whole Samhain, Halloween vibe that's happening at the moment. We're in what looks like a dining room area, obviously, just off the kitchen. Kitchen's in there. Walkway. And the big sort of lounge room through the doors over there. And here is Alan and his wife. They were the last owners here of the house. Stairs going up. Let me take you up. Nice squeaky stairs. Bit of age in those. Here we go with those candles again in the window. So cool. Little balcony. Have a look at how bad the paintwork is on the building. We have found out that they are getting, or they have money, and they're going to have all of this repainted next year. So that's pretty awesome. And upstairs, I'd say, would be bedroom areas. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about all of this. Oh, Billy Graham is up here. This could prove interesting. If you don't know about Billy Graham, oh, that was my finger. Just be careful. We've just got to be careful with what we say so that we are not offensive while we are here. That might be the young Alan when he did his service. It's a tiny little room here. It's a bathroom, no, it's a closet. Some sort of a walk-in closet. And walk back out. I'm getting a few heebie-jeebies coming up through here. A couple of feelings and sensations as I'm walking around. There's another way down. And more stairs going up, probably to where these servants would have lived at some stage of the house. But I better head downstairs before we do any more and more people come. I'm just having a bit of a look around the house before we start. That's lovely. Very ladylike in here, isn't it? Got another probably bathroom in here. Another area in here. Lots of bedrooms upstairs. Family photos. All right, so let's see what we can get today and whether this is going to be an awesome night. I know it's going to be. It's going to be a great night. So I'll talk to you later.
So who was ever, I don't want to say in charge, but who was ever the parents of the house at the time? The Binions were probably in here, the Alan Emery Sr. and Jr. From what I was told by Edward Emery, this is, when he was here, back in the late 50s, early 60s, this was his grandmother's and grandfather's, and these were their beds. Missing a lot of the hardware, but this is where they were. And he said that they had passed away in this room. Back then, you know, they died of old age in your house, and a lot of times it would wake you in the house. But as far as activity, the raccoons that lived here broke through the door. Lately, this door has been opening up by itself. Me and Christy, just last week, we were just sitting here talking, and the door opened up. So I don't know what's going on with that. And we shut the door, and we went and did something else, came back down, it was wide open.
So is there a cupboard, you said?
So we don't.
This is a wardrobe.
What does the door go to?
It's just a little closet. Yeah.
That goes to the end here?
But so when the house was abandoned, there was raccoons living in here. You'll see scratches on the walls. You can still see some of their paw prints. And we found we got rid of a lot of their poop. Well, it was like petrified. It was petrified poo. All of a sudden, you smell like someone just got out of the shower. Like a soapy smell. And that's happened to me a few times. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the hall, and there's a room right to the left. It's really tiny, so we can try to squeeze in. And that is going to be a dedicated room to Elizabeth Binion. We don't know whose room it actually was, but we kind of dedicated a room for her. So
Put her in the closet, let her shut the door. Then we put equipment on the floor outside the closet. I sat in that chair. We had just the candlelight from right here that was going. And all of a sudden, the REM pod started to right outside the door. And I looked at the gentleman and I said, I don't think they like the fact that we put the kid in the closet. I'm getting that feeling. And then, after I said that, this table started to vibrate. It's heavy. but it was vibrating like it was light as a feather, and it was shaking about. And we actually put some sensors on the table, and we actually measured the vibration with an EDI. That's substantial. So I said, all right, we're gonna let her out of the closet. We didn't mean any disrespect. So we opened the door, she came out, everything just stopped, just like that. And then,
Well, before all that, there used to be a famous evangelist that stayed here as a guest,
Yeah.
Billy Graham. So this was his bedroom when he stayed here. But one time, the very first day we were cleaning here, Christy's cleaning that bathtub over there. It was disgusting. It looked like a mafia scene. And I was on the 3rd floor cleaning upstairs. And Christy said she felt and heard steps coming up behind her.
right there.
Right there, as she's in the tub, halfway in the tub with all the chemicals and everything.
Yeah.
And now the reason why, I want you to explain the reason why you have to exhale.
All right, so it was taught to me by my mentor that when energies are gonna jump your body, they'll do it when you sneeze or when you cough. That's the easiest way to get in and attach themselves to you. I could not do either because of the suds and the fumes. So I did the next best thing I possibly could. I farted. And as soon as I did that, those steps in that doorway turned and went quickly away.
The strangest thing is though, we have this device called the obelisk.
Yeah.
So, and we had it in the table downstairs in the dining room, and we're all introducing ourselves. And when it got to Christy, the obelisk says, "Smelly Southerner." And it happened on more than one occasion when we were introducing ourselves.
Do I know how to ring them home with that, you know? In truth, you have to go with whatever they give you.
A lot of these strange angles on the ceiling and the wall that kind of funhouse effect. I think we got everybody just about. So when we first came here, again, it was very negative up here. I'll be honest with you, there was somebody that didn't understand what we were doing, who we were. A lot of times the women would get touched, the hair would get tugged, they would get tugged on the back. One woman, that's me.
Oh my God.
You don't know how many times people do that.
Yeah.
Especially when I say women usually get touched, all of a sudden everybody starts screaming, because their husband or boyfriend, you know. But we had one lady, she was trying to go through that door, and it was like someone wouldn't let her through that door. It's just a closet, but it's a cedar closet. They have beautiful closets here. So this 3rd floor is interesting. We don't know whose bedroom this was in the beginning. Edward told me it was his uncle's room when he lived here. So most likely the servants stayed up here. But the things that we've witnessed up here are shadows. We see shadows up here. Christy and I were here just last weekend, and this is where we're recording voices. She walked into the room and said hello, and clear as day, someone said hi. And I said, okay, let's listen to that, and we played it back, and it was there. Another thing about this 3rd floor is, I've noticed over the years, is they don't want to be near you. So they'll stay down the end of the hall and they'll watch you. And a lot of times they'll pop their head out the doors. And it's usually someone about this tall, and it's a little darker than the rest of the darkness. So we don't know who it is, to be honest with you. When Edwin Emery was here, he told me, and I didn't tell him these stories about the seeing shadows. He told me that they used to play a game when he was a kid here, and it was called Ghost. And he said the jail was the bathroom. And he says, so if you got caught, you get put in the bathroom. And that's exactly where we see somebody poking their head out down the hall. So I don't know if maybe one of his cousins had passed and lived here. So what I'm gonna do is we can check out there's a room over to the right, and it goes up to the cupola. Now you can go up to the cupola, but the stairs are very steep, I would go 2 to 3 people at a time, and I would use it like a ladder. When you come down, I would go down backwards. It's really steep, and you have to watch your head. I mean, I even have to duck. So we can go in there and you can check that out real quick, and I'll move this along so you guys can have more. So yeah, it's pretty strange. Like I said, every door up here has a cross on it.
Yeah, is there a reason why that's?
Yeah, why don't you can come on in, we'll let everybody else in. Yeah, well, when I used to come here, the first thing I noticed, all the doors would be open. So I didn't know if there were squirrels getting in, or, so I just put that up there, but you can open them. Look. Like I said, you can open this one, there's another closet in there. If you look to the right.
Oh God, there is too.
Yeah, it's a strange, so when we first came here, there was absolutely no furniture in the house like this. So this was empty. And every time we came in here, we always felt that there was somebody being punished in the corner, kind of cowered down like a young adolescent. And somebody from the town actually told us that somebody throughout the history of the house had an autistic child. And they didn't know what to do with them back then. And a lot of times for their safety, they would be tethered to like a radiator. So that's what we were told. I can't confirm anything, but this is where the servants would stay, so maybe the servants or maybe someone in the family had an autistic child. And back in the 30s and 40s, they really didn't know what to do. I put a motion sensor down there, so if you come into the room and it turns on, it's not haunted, it's a motion sensor.
Dancing around my head, so we've got it all. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, when we first started doing this, this was the most negative one. I think this was probably the head groundskeeper or the head of the staff that was here. But then again, you have over 100 years of history here, so it wasn't the same person that was in here. When Edward was here, he told me there was a woman that was in charge, and her name was Annie, and this was her bedroom. We've captured voices up here someone looking for Arthur. Now, Arthur is somebody that's part of their family. You could hear a woman's voice yelling for Arthur. And if you look at the door, the door, you see that lock on there. It's a strange lock to have on your bedroom. It usually goes to the front of your house. And then after about a month of coming here, we found this inside there to the left, to my left, your left, we found a cane. And one of the things that I recorded here, because I left my camera running here overnight on the 2nd and 3rd floor, and in this room I recorded these door latches making this noise. And then you would hear, it sounded like a steel ball was rolling around the floor. And then a strange electronic voice, like right next to the camera. And the camera down the other end picked up a door slam and footsteps walking, and then you would hear whistling. It's really bizarre. So the stuff that goes on here when there's nobody here, it's just pretty amazing. That's why I like to leave cameras running when I can, because then it's kind of untouched, All right.